Right now, with these regulations, the rule of thumb has to be, does it make things better than they were before? Frankly, with regulations, I've always subscribed to the belief, if you're going to add a new one, take another one out. But they don't do that, do they? Anyway, Jonas Max Ferris, Charles Payne, Mercedes Schlapp. Mercedes, what do you make of this?
Well, I got to tell you, it's like the invasion of the regulation overkill in our country. I mean, it's the fact that with all these regulations coming in, it really makes businesses feel very uncertain. They're scared as they want to comply, but at the same time, they realize that the economic impact could lead to more layoffs. And it impacts these businesses, especially the small business owners that are all trying to figure this out, while Obama decides that this is going to be his legacy for the remainder of the year.
You know, Jonas, when you look at this, what always amazes me about this stuff is, you know, you can do it, a president can do it, agencies can go ahead and submit these regulations, and they're very hard to reverse. But I've seen it under a lot of administrations, but it really picked up a pace with this one, and they're very hard to roll back.
Yeah, well, Obama would probably say it's because he has less support from Congress to do it, let's say, the more official way of doing regulatory changes. There's definitely been a lot of burdens for particularly, I'm going to go off with one thing Connell said, which is the RIA one. Some of them improve bad regulatory systems that are already there. Like right now, you can sell gold doubloons as an investment with hardly any oversight, except maybe the FTC. If you're a stockbroker, you've got a little more regulations, but not that many until now. You basically don't have to look out for your client's best interest. You can sell a high commission product. You don't need to show them the commission necessarily. An investment advisor has even more regulations. So they're kind of leveling a bad regulatory playing field. That is a good thing, but it creates unintended consequences. One of the reasons you can take a small client is high fees, and a lot of clients won't have a place to go because brokers won't want to deal with it with the new regulations having to be like an investment advisor. That might create a new field like robo-advisors. Perhaps they benefit, and often well-funded big businesses benefit from regulations because they can afford to meet the higher bar and the standard. Smaller businesses can't afford it. They cut loose. They cut off that line of their business. Again, that's the bad side and the good side to some of these regulations. Some of them, like the added sugar disclosure, it does cost people in that business money. It probably has more benefits to society than negatives. But some of these other ones, we'll have to wait and see. I think they cause a lot of problems for businesses and actually have unintended consequences.
On the sugar thing, I got to tell you, Jonas, I'm for more sugar. I think there should be regulations.
Don't tell my kids that.
We need more.
You're going to be able to deal. You can use it to find the food you're going to like more.
I understand that. I understand. But Charles Payne now, as an investor, and you have to invest on behalf of your clients, this is the kind of stuff that I imagine gives them pause, or does it?
Well, Jonas makes a great point about the unintended consequences. I know. I try to do it once a year. But if you add up the regulations that cost business $100 million or more, the point has been made. President Obama at 439, shattering all records. Someone has to ultimately pay for them. I personally think sugar labeling on cranberry juice is petty. I think the silica stuff is sort of ridiculous. Now, we need to let the audience know the president is pushing most of these things through before May 17th, because after that, Congress can try to intervene. So be ready for an avalanche, an absolute avalanche. We're already at 24,000 new regs since President Obama came into office. It's made things harder. You see how our economy is limping along, how the wheels of commerce are grinding virtually to a halt. And a lot of this stuff, again, is more punitive, war on capitalism than smart stuff or wasteful bureaucracy. Just another level of red tape that helps no one, particularly the small business, the small investor, and the society.